So backup customer file is not something you, the technician, will do most of the time. You're going to have somebody in the front desk who's going to talk to the customer, explain the customer the policy. Every shop needs to have a policy. The policy should say that you are not responsible for data. Because when you are a computer technician, you don't know what computer you're going to touch. Believe me or not, you can touch the computer for the governor, you can touch the computer for any banker, you can touch computer for anybody. Because you are a computer technician. But data can be nothing if you're working in a kid computer that play games, that listen to music. But if you're working in a business computer, they may have data that is essential for the operation of the business. And for some business, if they lost their data, they don't have a business. Smart businessmen have a backup every night, but some businessmen, they don't have a backup. So if something happened to the database, they lost their business. So you have to be careful when you're touching people's computer. Some people too, they're collecting old music. They may have a lot of old music in their computer that you will never find any place even to buy. So if you delete those data from the computer, delete those music, you can kill this guy. And some people have pictures that not replaceable. Like the wedding picture, the picture when they were having their first baby, the anniversary picture. There are a lot of pictures, they don't want to lose those pictures. So if you go and delete those data, you can go to court, then you can have a lawsuit. But what will cover you is when you tell the customer you are not responsible and you have the customer sign a piece of paper that says you are not responsible. So at this point, if anything happened to this data, you cover yourself. So this is the first thing you do, but this part of the process always covered by the people who receive the computer, because those are the people who's going to have the first contact with the customer. Sometimes you, the technician, doesn't have any contact with the customer because somebody already talked to the customer, and I'm sure in a shop the person in the front desk already covered this part. But sometimes they can really not. Before you start working in a computer, look to see if there is a special note. Even here, we will put a special note on top of the computer to say, don't format this hard drive until you back up that computer. And if it's very essential, we will put a red tag on that computer, and sometimes we don't even put it to the shop until we make sure we talk to the technician and explain to the technician there are data that cannot be destroyed in that computer. This is the first part, and the second part is backup, and you're going to do an analysis. What do you do in the analysis? Who can tell me what you do when you analyze a computer?
Use all your senses.
Huh?
Use all your senses.
That's right. The young lady said you use all your senses to find out what's wrong with that computer. Can you tell me, anybody can give me an idea how you use your senses?
You can use your name,
You can use your nose to smell the computer if you see if the computer smells burning. You can use your hand to touch the computer to see if the computer overheated. You can use your ears to listen to the computer. Actually, when you analyze the computer, you have to use all of your senses to figure out what may be wrong with the computer. So analysis, when you analyze a computer, you just try to figure out what may be wrong with the computer. Analysis doesn't tell you what's wrong with the computer, but it can pinpoint for you where you have to look for the problem. Now, when you look for the problem, you go to testing. This is when you're going to test the part that becomes suspicious. So how do you test a part? Long time ago, or if you have only one computer, in a shop long time ago, you have 2, 3 computers for the week because people did not have computers. But right now, when you have a bench with 10 computers to fix, you don't have time to go over all of this. The best way to do it is to swap good part by suspected defective part. If you suspect the computer has a problem with the memory, you put known good memory in that computer and start the computer. If you suspect it may be the DVD one, you replace the DVD one by a good one. If you suspect it's the CPU, you replace the CPU by a good one. Like this, you eliminate any part that can be a problem. So if you go over this swap suspected defective part by good working part, you will find out which part is not working. But I don't say you go to the computer and replace all the parts in the computer, but you have to start by the most suspected defective part. So this is testing, and the fourth is repair. So when you repair a computer, when you call a computer repaired, you say this computer is repaired, you're ready to call the customer, you have to use the computer yourself, figure out if the computer can go online, if the sound works, if the computer, everything in the computer works properly, there is no error message. This is when you consider the computer repaired. You can call the customer at this time. But you just don't see a computer boot to Windows and say the computer finished to work. Because the computer can boot to Windows, or whether there is a lot more problem with that computer. You have to use the computer for like 15-20 minutes, go online, do some goodies, and find out if that computer really works. So this is what we're going to do now. I'm going to pass you some computer, and you're going to do some repair work. You're going to work team 2, and one of the team is going to have 3 because we have 7 people here. Now, I want you, these 2 of you, I want you to test this computer. This one has to be fixed before you leave. And already have 3 teams. So these 2 of you guys, you're going to make a team. You're going to observe, you're going to analyze this computer. So we have 4 teams working, eh?
I was going to ask you about the computer I left here.
Your computer already finished. Wilson and Jose, fix your computer. And I want you to help each other. If you have a question you don't understand, you ask me. I mean, you go, you put your hand in the metal surface, you wipe your hand on it. No, put your hand on the metal, any piece of metal. That means you remove, you discharge the electrostatic in the metal before you touch the part. You have to do that. You can put it in any place. You have to put the memory on its place, and you have to make sure you look at the memory. You see that memory have 2 little cuts. Those are the guide. See, you have to look at the memory to see where the guide, where each of them is going to fall. I think this is the you put it like this, and you make sure. Doesn't matter. You make sure you line up this side to in the right place, and you push it down this side, you push down the other side. This is the way you do that.
I think we need to clean the same thing.
Sembra